Welcome to Little English Studio, the channel where we bring history, culture, and the wonders of our world to life in clear and simple English. Today, we journey to the windswept plains of southern England, where ancient stones rise in a circle, silent yet powerful. This is Stonehenge, one of the world's most mysterious monuments, a masterpiece of prehistoric engineering, and a symbol of human curiosity that has puzzled scholars for centuries. Who built it? Why did they build it? And how, with no machines or modern technology, did they move stones weighing up to 40 tons across miles of countryside? Join us as we uncover the story of Stonehenge, fact, mystery, and legend combined. Stonehenge stands on Salisbury Plain, a vast grassland in Wiltshire, England. At first sight, it appears as a ring of massive stones, some upright, some fallen, set in a circular arrangement. Yet behind this simplicity lies complexity. Stonehenge was not built in a single moment, but over centuries, between roughly 3000 BC and 2000 BC. Its story stretches back more than 4,500 years, making it older than the Great Pyramids of Giza and long before written records in Britain. From the earliest travellers who saw it, Stonehenge inspired wonder and speculation. Medieval writers thought it was built by giants or brought from Africa by the wizard Merlin. Others believed it was a Roman temple or a memorial to fallen warriors. Over time, the questions only grew. Why was it built? How did people transport stones from so far away? What ceremonies took place here? The mystery of Stonehenge is part of its power. Unlike palaces or cities, it was not a place of daily life. It was a sacred space, carefully constructed, aligned with the sun and stars. Its builders left no writings, only stones. And so every generation since has looked at Stonehenge and asked, what does it mean? To understand Stonehenge, we must understand its builders. In the late Neolithic period, around 3000 BC, Britain was home to farming communities. These people grew crops, raised animals, and lived in small villages. They did not have metal tools or wheels, but they had deep knowledge of stone, wood, and the landscape. Stonehenge was part of a wider ceremonial landscape. Around Salisbury Plain, there were burial mounds, processional avenues, and other henges, circular earthworks with banks and ditches. The people who built Stonehenge were connected to nature, cycles of the sun, and the memory of ancestors. DNA studies of human remains from the period suggest that communities were diverse, with influences from continental Europe. They were skilled in organizing labor, sharing resources, and transmitting knowledge across generations. Building Stonehenge was not just about stones, it was about society coming together in shared belief and effort. Stonehenge was not built all at once. Archaeology shows it evolved in several stages. Stage 1, around 3000 BC. The first Stonehenge was a circular ditch with a bank inside it, about 100 meters across. Inside, there were wooden posts and 56 pits known as the Aubrey holes, which may have held timber posts or stones. This stage was already a major communal project. Stage 2, around 2500 BC. The most famous part of Stonehenge, the Great Sarsen Stones, were erected. These enormous sandstone blocks came from Marlborough Downs, about 25 kilometers away. Each weighed up to 40 tons. Transporting them without wheels meant using sledges, rollers, ropes, and human strength. Some theories suggest that greased tracks, wooden frames, and even waterways were used. The stones were shaped using stone hammers, then erected in pairs with a horizontal lintel on top, creating trilithons. The precision was extraordinary. The builders used mortise and tenon joints like carpenters use in wood to fix the stones together. Stage 3, around 2200 BC, smaller stones known as bluestones were added. These came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 200 kilometers away. Transporting them across rivers, hills, and sea was a colossal task, showing the builders' determination and organization. Over centuries, stones were rearranged, added, or removed. By around 2000 BC, Stonehenge had taken the form we see today, a circle of sarsens with bluestones inside, aligned with the movements of the sun. The construction of Stonehenge required thousands of people, not just to move stones but to feed, house, and support the workers. It was a national project of prehistoric Britain, uniting communities for a common purpose. Why was Stonehenge built? This question has fascinated scholars for centuries. There is no single answer but many theories. One clue lies in its alignment. The entrance to Stonehenge faces northeast, where the sun rises at the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. On that day, the sun appears to rise directly over the heel stone, an outlying stone, and shine into the heart of the monument. At the winter solstice, the sun sets in the opposite direction. This suggests that Stonehenge was a kind of solar calendar, marking the seasons, perhaps for farming or religious festivals, but Stonehenge was also a place of the dead. Human burials have been found within and around the site, some dating to its earliest phases. The cremated remains in the Aubrey holes may represent elite individuals or ancestors. Stonehenge may have been both a temple to the sun and a memorial to the dead, a place where the living connected with cosmic order and ancestral memory. Some theories suggest Stonehenge was a healing centre. The bluestones, brought from Wales, were believed to have special powers. Others propose it was a unifying monument, built by communities across Britain as a symbol of shared identity. What is certain is that Stonehenge was sacred. It was not practical, not defensive, but symbolic. Every stone, every alignment was chosen with meaning. What rituals took place at Stonehenge? We may never know fully, but archaeology offers hints. Animal bones found nearby show that large feasts took place during winter and summer solstices. People travelled from far distances, bringing pigs and cattle for communal meals. Stonehenge was not just a local shrine, it was a national gathering place. The builders may have believed that the sun's movements controlled life and death. By aligning the stones with the sun, they may have hoped to bring order to the world. Ceremonies could have honoured ancestors, gods, or natural forces. The effort to build Stonehenge also had ritual value. Moving stones hundreds of kilometres was an act of devotion, proof of faith. Participation in construction bound communities together, creating a shared sense of identity. Even today, Stonehenge retains its spiritual aura. At solstices, thousands of people gather to watch the sun rise or set, continuing a tradition that goes back millennia. In Roman times, Stonehenge was already ancient. Roman writers did not mention it, suggesting it was no longer active. During the Middle Ages, myths grew. Geoffrey of Monmouth in the 12th century wrote that Stonehenge was built by Merlin the wizard, who brought the stones from Ireland with magic. This legend gave Stonehenge a mystical aura that lasted for centuries. In the Renaissance, antiquarians began to study it seriously. Some thought it was a Roman temple to Apollo. Others believed it was a Danish monument. Theories multiplied, but evidence was scarce. By the 18th and 19th centuries, Stonehenge became a subject of scientific interest. Early archaeologists began excavating, though often damaging the site. Gradually, radiocarbon dating, geology, and careful excavation revealed its true prehistoric age. Still, myths continued. Some saw Stonehenge as a Druid temple, though Druids lived more than 1,000 years after it was built. Poets and artists depicted it as a place of mystery and romance. Stonehenge entered the imagination as both science and legend. Modern archaeology has transformed our understanding of Stonehenge. Excavations have uncovered tools, animal bones, and human remains, showing that Stonehenge was part of a larger ceremonial landscape. Nearby sites like Durrington Walls, a vast settlement, may have housed the builders and hosted great feasts. Geological studies traced the bluestones to quarries in Wales. Experiments have shown how stones could be dragged on sledges with wooden rollers, requiring hundreds of people but no machines. Laser scanning has revealed carvings on the stones, including axes and daggers, symbols of power. DNA and isotope studies of human remains show that people came to Stonehenge from as far as the Mediterranean. It was not just local, it was an international centre of gathering. Today, technology like ground-penetrating radar has mapped hidden features around Stonehenge, including avenues, pits, and other monuments. The landscape was a vast sacred complex, of which Stonehenge was the centrepiece. Stonehenge is now one of the most famous monuments in the world, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting over 1 million visitors each year. Standing among the stones, one feels both awe and humility, awe at the achievement of people 4,500 years ago, and humility at the mystery that still surrounds it. Tourists can walk around the circle while special access visits allow people to enter the inner ring. At summer and winter solstice, crowds gather to celebrate the sun's alignment, blending ancient tradition with modern culture. Yet Stonehenge faces challenges. Weathering, pollution, and tourism threaten its preservation. Archaeologists and conservators work constantly to protect it for the future. More than just a monument, Stonehenge is a symbol. It represents human curiosity, creativity, and the search for meaning. It connects us to ancestors who, without metal tools or machines, created something timeless. And that was the story of Stonehenge, the circle of stones that has stood for thousands of years, a place of mystery, science, and spirit. From its prehistoric builders to modern archaeologists, from ancient rituals to today's visitors, Stonehenge continues to inspire questions and wonder. Thank you for watching this episode of Little English Studio. If you enjoyed learning about Stonehenge, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of world wonders, history, and culture, told in clear and simple English. See you in the next video.